Please, Vega, please.
Too late! Okay.
No!
Hand it over to our governors that it is time for OD Picks One Gods for our last game of the day. Gentlemen, take it away.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome indeed for the final game of the final series of the day. We've got Vega Squadron up against Virtus.Pro. The draft's done. I'm OD, this is Gods. Let's let yourself straight into the match so we can see what's going down. Gods, are you feeling a little bit more hopeful for Vega this time around with this draft, or do you like the VP Wombo and the finisher off with Warlock?
I mean, I'm liking VP as a team right now a bit more. Speaking of which, recovery. Getting hunted by VP, but I love Warlock. I think this is a great hero right now. As far as the support role goes, less in the core, but he's been put in Solo's hands, so we'll be a support with a mid-sanking from no one. As he's sanking, taking on Invoker. Likely will need some assistance at some point against the ranged Invoker.
I guess we can expect Lil to maybe wandering around on the Kunkers,
Yes.
looking for the torrent spam to try and keep Iceberg on his toes.
I don't know, FNG's Wisp last time he played was just...
Yeah, he's got to
shocking.
step it up.
It was not a good game for him.
I mean, you've only got to assume that that was maybe the anomaly, because it's still feeling confident in picking it up first.
Yep.
They obviously must feel that they can pull through a good game on the FNG West, but indeed, the game earlier was not that great for the man. Let's see if he's able to step it up here in this final match of the day.
Yeah, we'll see how these lanes are going to unravel. We'll be Lil starting off near this mid lane, throwing torrents around probably, with Solo securing the safe lane for Team VP.
In terms of laning stage, do you feel that as a side with an edge? I mean, up top, having Ramses on the farming void, he's got to deal with the Slardar. Is the Slardar going to be much of an issue in terms of trying to farm around? Or?
Not going to be an issue as far as him killing you, but it's going to be an issue because you can't zone him out. Void's a really bad safe lane hero to zone enemy offlaners. And the support Warlock also not great there, so Warlock Void, this lane is pretty lackluster. Slardar should have a good time as far as getting some farm, getting XP of course. And I don't even imagine we'll see Void ahead of Slardar in terms of farm because of the way this lane works out. But similarly, VP off lane, they've got Darkseer. This is a hero that should match up decently well against the dual lane of Vega.
We can see already Pashy getting a fair bit from this lane. As the pressure's put on for both recovery and Shiver the Slayer. Mid lane, 6-1. He's getting a good lead at the start here now.
Was Wex Invoker. Iceberg, he's kind of signature hero. He talked a lot about the panel talked a lot about how he's one of his best heroes and how good he is on this. Hold on.
Top man. Looking to man up a bit with the help of FNG. Eye towards Solo, but he's already healing up. Turning attention towards Lil. Another two-man crush, but not quite enough damage at the moment to break down the trialing of VP.
Yeah. They are having a great time with this 2v3 setup. Again, Void just not really a hero who can contribute as far as damage output or zoning goes. And I don't have to worry about Sunstrike. Just curious, because Iceberg was always known for playing the Exo Invoker. Almost never saw him playing Quas Wex, so evidently Vega thought this was a game for Quas Wex, and we'll see how he does.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
I mean, obviously with this pressure up top as well that the Mag and FNG are putting on, do you expect the supports of VP to have to stay up to secure the lane for Ramses? Is this going to minimize their opportunity to roam around towards mid and gank the Invoker?
Feels like they do really need to just stick it out up here. I like what they're doing, just using the pulls, denying XP and farm away from the Slardar because they can't zone him out. So the best thing you can do is just utilize your jungle camp.
Nice looking a bit of a turn running onto the mid lane with the cold snap and EMP. Wants to know I'm back. He's got the bottle out, 3 charges though, so he'll be able to top himself back up. But for the time being, FNG hopping between the mid and the top lane very nicely and making sure that both cores have a relatively good time in the laning stage.
Yeah, I'm liking this style of IO so far. There's no like amazing IO partner, but he's just utilizing his early game strength to help out the off lane. Now he's helping out the mid lane, helping just secure a good early game laning advantage.
In the bottom lane, now Darkseer at the start was putting on the pressure, but now backing up to the side camp. It's just, of course, in turn going to give more space to the Morphling. 16 for 7, 17 for 7 against the 14 for 5, so a slightly easier lane going for the safe lane of Vega. And Pasha, we're just trying to get his goal for the Soul Ring and such.
Almost actually died to a neutral, but Got just out of range. But right now, fairly stable early game. Sanking actually winning the CS battle.
He's doing really well.
This is, again, like the Cosworks Invoker, a lot of defensive capabilities, but not easy to last hit. Very kind of defensive build coming out from Iceberg, and much more focused on the kind of utility and creating space for heroes like Morphling to shine. Doesn't really immediately synergize with things like Slaughter. Normally with the minus armor from the amp damage and the initiation, you want to follow with like Sunstrikes, Forward Spirits, right-clicking, Cold Snaps, so... Curious choice from Iceberg, but he will have phase boots fairly soon, and from there it should be a bit easier for him to last hit against this Sanking.
Solo. Shadow wording down some creeps, trying to get the levels up. On bottom lane, that's actually where we could be watching, because Pasha glimpses back in an awful lot of trouble here, and they're going to kill. And first blood for Vega, recovery to take it. Very nice bit to play, and again, I don't want to jinx it for the man, but so far FNG has been dancing around the laning stage very nicely for the team. Yeah,
he's been good, and it's an improvement already from his previous IO game as far as the impact we're seeing from him. Slaughter's off a bit to the jungle now with an Iron Talon, but this is more just because he feels he can actually farm equally fast as in the lane, and he can kind of weave between being in the jungle at this camp and then going back to the lane. He's even managed to finish it off nice and fast, so it respawns. Next combo not going to land as no one gets his bottle back in. Not really a lane that IO can help out so much in anymore.
And as the game kind of goes on as well, in terms of VP's mechanisms to deal with the Morphling, do you feel they've got good potential here, or is it always going to be hard to bring down recovery? How safe is he going to feel this game?
They've got some pretty big teamfight ultimates, but there's no good silence or burst damage from Sanking, but the burst damage to try and kill him if he's ever low on Agi isn't amazing, so they're probably going to want to try and pressure him and deal with him earlier in the game. But yeah, it's not a great lineup for beating a Morph, so I don't feel like they're going to be looking to try and play the late game.
Mid lane, again, it's just no one, and Iceberg having the backup of two supports from each side. Solo's going to look towards the top room, but has to be careful. Iceberg is going to be able to set up with the Tornado, Cold Snap and EFP, and Solo in a lot of trouble. The crush from Masho gets the kill, the second on the board. Vega certainly having a bit of a stronger start here in game 2. Getting these pickoffs.
Yep.
And of course just creating a lot of chaos around the map, which means that recovery is not being looked at all at the moment by VP.
Yeah, and Warlock's a hero who wants to get a good timing on that level 6, so you don't want to find yourself as an under-leveled Warlock too early on in the game. And right now he's not really got an easy lane to go to find farm. Slaughter's pulling him out from lanes, and limps back at bottom.
They've caught him in the field. Can they stop this TP? Nope, they can't. No points yet. And the odd adaptive strike, so lacking in the stuns post the glimpse. So, and the Leafs forcing Darkseer out the lane, but nah, they would like to get themselves killed. Get a bit more action for that Morphling down on the bottom, but as it goes, they're still all good, all golden. Mid lane, Iceberg holding no one back, and of course, I guess that's one thing with this build. You know, you're not necessarily going to win the CS war or be overly aggressive, but it's very hard for them to make a move on you as the Cosworks in play.
He's near ungankable. The Ghost Walk potential for escape. He's just high strength as well with this build. He's pretty much impossible to kill with their lineup, at least unless they want to invest like a Chronosphere. But for now, Void just happy to sit top, keep on farming. The safe lane Void saying Ramsey's always played a lot of one of their first carry plays to do this though, so he's going to probably feel pretty good about his start. He's farming decently, not Morphling levels of farm, but his lane was contested.
And as you said, it's never really going to be down to kind of a late game farm game for VP. They're going to want to start to push the issue a little bit before this Morphling gets online as the game goes on, especially with the ratting potential between him and the IO and such.
Yeah.
And a late game Invoker, it's something that, yeah, VP, they're not going to want to look to take it to that stage.
They do want to find a way to use the Chronosphere, which looks to be by getting Kunkka his level 6. Void's going to rotate into the jungle. He's gone back for the Iron Talon, and going to give Kunkka the safe lane to try and get Ghost Ship up.
Looking to play around with Pasha, but Pasha holds on to the Surge.
This is aggressive play from the Morph, and with they focus up, they'll get the kill.
Again, Iceberg coming across and helping out very, very nicely. Virtus.Pro will come in. But Iceberg, as we talked about, very self-sustainable, but a good chrono from Ramses could set something up. But the question is, what is he going to set up? Sets up a burrow onto Iceberg. Torrent as well to follow through, and they will get the Invoker kill. Might be able to get themselves a second as well as they look to close in onto Sherma. If Lil can land the Torrent, tries for it. It's going to connect with Ramses jumping up. They'll get themselves the second. So good reaction from VP.
It's such an awkward chrono. It was a really good chrono.
Where's the follow through? And it did kind of come.
Well,
but
that was more like a true stopping time there from Void. Like, everyone just stopped. They were all standing there, sitting around the chrono like, okay, let's wait, let's watch. Take a look at our watches and just wait for this to end, and then they continued fighting. And the important thing was it bought time for the Sand King to have his Burrow Strike come off cooldown.
Yeah.
Since it was a couple seconds away and the Invoker would have escaped if not for the chrono.
Top solo. He's looking for the level, but Glint's back. Into the crush, and he's going to go down. Solo, of course. Really, really huge if they can get that level 6 on him. One of the great ways to follow through a chrono. But at the moment, Vega have been on top of him every time he comes into the lane.
Yeah, it's hard. You'll see those supports kind of take over the safe lane, trying to get level 6, and it's such an easy free kill to get, and Vega just punishing it. Not much Warlock can do, because you want someone up there, you want to force him to come gank you.
Mag, 1300 at the moment, on the way towards that blink. Top of the board, the more. And at the moment, even though it's 4-2, BP certainly have their strengths, and looking to utilize them towards the mid. Set up onto FFG. He's going to tether away though, and he is going to make it. Okay. Unfortunately, this side of BP unable to get the kill, and in fact, they could be in trouble themselves. Little pull back, but oh, that's nice. Yeah, G-Dex himself to counteract the Grim's back. No one, and it's going to be chased, but again, Lil with some sweet little plays, keeping Vega on their toes and making sure that Vega don't get away with the kill here at all on either of the heroes. I guess that, yeah, one of the interactions we didn't really talk about, but as long as Lil's there, whether it be saving himself or saving a teammate, does make it harder for Disruptor to really bring back the heroes he needs to with the Glints.
Yep. So as it stands, we'll see Slider try and buy time to get his Blink Dagger up. It's going to be the big item for Vega to start making moves around the map. They don't want to just play passive too. When you have this Quasworks Invoker, it's kind of one of those things where you want to be fighting around this kind of level 9, level 10 mark. The hero gets very strong with that Tornado EMP Cold Snap combo.
Now they're smoking out with Disruptor. Static Storm at the ready. Maybe seeing if they can find a way to jump in on this. Chrono's back online for Ramses though.
Silence.
A good setup potentially as well. There's Shoma getting himself in position, glimpsing him back into the Static Storm. Ramses in a lot of trouble with the both but it makes some kind of counterplay. They'll get Ramses. Can they get themselves anything in return? No one. Coming with the epicenter. Mags is full low. They will find 2 kills off the back of this. So VP losing their carry, but they take down the offlane in a support, and we'll be able to put a bit of pressure onto this top tier 1 as well. But at the same time, Recovery continue to get a lot of space. We just yet to see VP head down there at all and look towards dealing with this morphling at this stage.
Yeah, they got to kind of choose their poison right now, which is send heroes to contest Morph or try and take these kill trades at top. And I think it's alright for them for now to just ignore the Morph and try and deal with him later, but Morph will continue to outfarm any of these dire cores, with Void dying especially difficult for VP to keep up.
And actually going to look to defend this. TPs are coming through. Mag, caught out by the Torrent. And the boys a little bit low on resources and mana, so they'll back away. And Iceberg will, of course, get the deny on the tower. It's a nice little play there from him. Well, all in all, 12.5 minutes in, 5 for 4. Certainly feeling to be a closer game here in the second matchup between the two sides.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better as far as how things have shaped up with the drafts. Vega have this morphing that's going to become a big problem. VP themselves are the ones who are going for their big team fight combos now. 5 big team fight ultimates. They've got to try and find ways to use them, take towers as well as the kills. Problem is, it's Vega who's going to be their turn to split push. Whenever VP group up as 5, you'll see morphing in one of these side lanes, just split pushing away.
Blink on SK. We'll see if they can find something with that. Still epicenter on cooldown. But they have the Chrono, they have the Rock Golems, and they have the boat down towards bottom.
They don't want to sit around and just try farm down. They've got to find a way to use these. Solo is kind of like a position super aggressively farming, and this is almost like a giveaway that something's happening. But Io's perhaps still going to get caught.
That's an easy one. Easy kill there for no one. The question is if they can follow it through to anything more. I suppose actually coming across here. Well, that's the Tornado, got the MP as well. Look to find this one. The X-Mark Torrent set up onto Iceberg. No one coming around the corner. Has Epicenter. They've got the ults online for VP. Bill, look to see if he can set up something to play with here, but he gets glimpsed back. And Vega just choosing to avoid this. They know the VP sweeping across their jungle. They do not want to be caught in the team fight as they back up and regroup on the side of Vega.
Yeah. Attempted chase, but couldn't quite catch anyone, and still just a level 1 epicenter as well, lacking a bit of damage perhaps for some kills. No one's got iron shelled up, so he TP's top, perhaps thinking he can solo kill the Morphling with an iron shell and an epicenter, but there's a ward there. He's scanning on his CP, so he's not going to find anything.
And Morph continuing to rocket forward at the top of the network. 7.2k at the moment. Rams is needing a bit more time to catch up, and as the build for the Void continues, we'll look to see him get next. He's got the Vlads and Intel on.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do you think he'll get the blink next, or can he go straight in the damage and rely on the rest of the teams to set up?
He's got a blink from Sanking, Hunger X. Still, the blink seems decent just because there's so many annoying spells to try and run into. Like the Tornado EMP just cripples him. That's his entire mana pool. So having a blink seems almost necessary to try and bypass it.
Well, they know he's there. They want him dead.
Ooh.
Ooh. Wow. I mean, the question is, do you think they could get themselves this kill?
It's very dangerous.
It's hard, isn't it, on a Void?
It's a Void. You've got TP rotations that can really punish you when you look at the Warlock ultimate, a potential Chronosphere, Epicenters, but they've got the advantage of numbers. Right now it's 5v1, so the TPs take some time to come in. You're not going to see a insta 5 heroes show up.
I mean, a Chrono could buy time for the team to come over. I guess what most notable, the SK has his TP on cooldown, so he won't be able to join with the AP.
And like a Warlock alone with the Chaotic Offering isn't going to turn things around. Like, there's no damage between a Void plus Warlock type hero. You really need the Sand King as far as damage output goes, so looks like it could be a kill, but it's more whether they're willing to risk going for it. And they'll see a lot of heroes bottom, like they see 3 bottom right now, so I think they will be tempted to look for this kill. Scouting out, finding where he is going to be the tricky bit. They could throw a Tornado, throw a Kinetic Field, but not the most reliable ways to catch this Void. If they ever get vision, though, they can get him with the glimpse.
Yeah, and I guess at least if they don't get the kill, they've got a good chance of finishing off the tier 1 top, but at the same time, VP, they are looking to find that trade, as they'll take a tower in return.
But I mean, this game's looking great for Vega, and Morphling's super far ahead on farm. Invoker's doing decently. The Quaswex Invoker's paying off, just being able to create space and buy time for the Morph to just do his thing, solo push lane, split push, working out great. But VP have to. It feels like they're in Vega's position from last game, where they've got this big five-man team fight lineup, and it's just not working.
And we have a Lilith's back in the game. Hopefully we'll be able to get this one under the way and again see how it does spell out for Ramses up top. We're good to go. Let's get us back in to the action.
Here we go, top lane.
Let's see however they commit onto this and if they actually catch him. Oh, that's a good blink crush. That is a good blink crush. The TPs will start to follow through, but Ramses already in the static storm. Recovering tips across. They'll get themselves 1 kill in solo. That's going to be a second.
He TP'd into the EMP, so he had no mana for the rocket. Even if he had the rocket, again, you need the Sand King there for that to work, so bit of a suicidal TP. The rock would have just been beating away more gold if he'd thrown it.
Always
great play.
Always the hardest house to defend those kind of side lane tier 1s.
Yeah, and that's where most teams, like when you're going for that push on the offlane tier 1 tower, if your carry's in the safe lane, he's got to get out. If you don't see heroes on the map, you've got to expect your opponent to be matching that movement with an offlane push of their own. And Void should not have been hanging around as long as he did and getting caught out.
And this is, of course, just going to set Ramses further behind, and of course, on the side of Vega, Morphling further ahead.
Yeah, Void does
really spinning. I mean, nearly 3k gold difference.
Yeah, it's Void against Morph too. It's like not like you can use Chronosphere very effectively against a Morphling when you can just go strength while Chronosphere. So it just doesn't feel like they're going to have good answers for a Morphling this game.
And look at him again here. He's going very, very much will look to do so. This is painful for VP, and Rams is nearly getting away, but the bash comes through in time from Mag.
Radiant structures are
And
back to
Vega.
back. That's like that's your worst nightmare as a carry. You die, you respawn, you TP, and you instantly die again. Around this stage, because you're level 11, so it's a pretty long respawn. He's just gonna spend like 70 of the last 80 seconds of this game dead.
And here we have a bit more of a setup with Solo being brought back into the static shell. Mag crosses one. Will look to move back in with the epicenter from VP though. Trying for a bit of a turnaround. They will find the kill onto Disruptor, but Vega may not be done here. Recovery and Iceberg. Look to see if they can lean forward into this one. It's not going to be the case. But still, a 2-for-1 trade for Vega. Essentially with Ramses, of course, going down before that all kicked off up top. VP need to find a little bit more of a convincing team fight if they wish to swing themselves back into this one, because as the game goes on, Morphling gets further and further ahead, and Invoker Iceberg remaining in a very, very confident position.
Their entire team fight is being disrupted. The Quaswex Invoker with the EMP is just ruining them, and then you've got Disruptor who always find one key hero. This that fight it was a Warlock, so it meant there was no Golem coming into play, and you take out one of those big ultimates, you prevent another couple through the EMP, and suddenly VP have no way to win a team fight. They can't just have like an Epicenter alone. They need Epicenter with the Chronosphere, with the Rock, with the Ghost Ship, and Vega just playing around those big ultimates so effectively.
Iceberg. Kind of the man at the moment again up top. Leave Pasha. Pasha will get the chance to pop the mech, and it doesn't look like it will save his life. As Io and Mag coming in. In fact, no one. It's sticking around. Maybe has to be a bit careful. Mag could maybe jump back into this. I guess with Lil there. Ooh, nearly killing off FNG with the Tidebringer. No one.
Here's a glimpse.
Yeah, Mag can't quite get the jump. Yeah, Lil again with a little cheeky X-Mark play. Just to get himself out. No one trying to go in, but the static storm's down. Ramses actually time walking into the storm. Sending to fall. Solo. Maybe trying to get himself busy, but the pings are there, and they're keeping the Warlock away from the fight. So again, they can't quite find this team fight that they are attempting for. We are yet to really see Solo get the chance to drop the chaos he's offering. And Iceberg, as you mentioned, a man renowned for his amazing Invoker play with the Quas Exor. He has given us an absolute show with the Quas Wex build this game. 7-1-4. And just destroying any attempt from VP to try and pull together a team fight.
Just being picked apart one by one. The catch with the IO relocated, with the Slider Blink Dagger, the mobility of this lineup is just destroying VP. And suddenly we're going to see Iceberg. He's got money for an Orchid soon, and with an Orchid, the Void's life is going to be that much more miserable. I mean, everyone's life can get ruined by this. Invoker can solo kill almost anyone he wants.
Mid lane, Lil comes into lane. He's glimpsed back to base. And they really want to kill us. That is definitely what you want to try for here. But again, no one tries to blink in. But a quick tornado from the old Invoker holds him back. And indeed, the warning from Vega, meaning that Iceberg can't get away with this in VP's jungle. Feeling very, very safe.
Oh gosh, we'll see a E-Blade very shortly on Morphling, and
20
that's where
minutes in. That's insane farm from recovery.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a game. He's been kind of left on an island with just solo farming, free farming the bottom lane, getting towers, and now he finds himself ready to shine.
Getting those invis runes. This is really turning into a tough one from VP, and okay, they've got the other one. Ball back into the storm. Mad there to provide the deeps, and he's out. 45 seconds without the Shanking. E-Blade complete.
Could be
now for recovery.
Yeah.
And VP are just going to have massive troubles in terms of trying to fight into the 5-man of Vega at this stage.
They're just having a field day, getting kill after kill. It's a great game to play when you've got all these mobile teammates. You've got an eye to back up. You can be a Slider running it alone, and suddenly like 2 or 3 teammates can show up.
So yeah, look at Slider's position there in the tree line. If anyone even dares so to come close to recovery, he's going to be there ready with a counterplay.
Oh, they see him. They know that VP's going to try and defend this with the Sanking respawn.
Dire's middle tower.
But they're just going to leave Morphling alone in the front lines. He's probably unkillable here.
Dire's middle tower.
Mag did jump across. They did scan it, so Mag just going for the blind play, seeing if VP were still hanging around, but it's not the case. Lil into the pit. He's got no escape. This man becomes as good of a dead man. Nukes come through, Lil's out. Sound like a Chrono did come through on the sidelines. They drop the chaotic offering as well, but they just can't seem to find a kill. They'll get FSG. That'll be at least something. But Vega very much ready for a bit of a turnaround potential and looking to fight on through this. It's recovering. Waveforms forward, adaptive strike as well onto Solo, and Warlock almost certainly going to go down. The crush is onto no one as well. They're going to end up losing. Korean TG system going to be called straight up here. They're tapping out VP. It just never came to be. They never came together in game 2.
It wasn't even a premature GG. They're just losing the fight, falling miles ahead of everyone. There's no comeback inside at this point.
Fed, but again, can they actually kill it? They're going to drop the Doom, but as I mentioned earlier, Ali ready to walk it off. He's going to get a run on him, and it's going to be Vega Squadron that start to lose heroes. One already down, FMG to go as well. They're trying to actually catching out Iceberg. Piranha's out of it all, and this is the thing. At this stage of the game, you do Maui, the boat comes on top of him. He's taking half damage.